Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Tiz.
Good morning, DJ NV Charlamagne the Guy and Breakfast Club family.
Peace, Tiz.
All right. Now, last night, Kansas City Chiefs beat Denver 19-8.
Yeah, the Denver Broncos season is over. It's officially a wrap. Okay.
Now, also in baseball, Philadelphia Phillies beat Atlanta Braves to move on to the National League Championship Series against the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Where do you think Sierra and Russell Wilson going on vacation?
Turks and Caicos?
Nah, he done did that a few times.
All right, well, let's jump right into the news. What we talking about? What we starting with this morning, T.S.?
Yeah, 53-year-old Cenk Uygur, founder and outspoken host of the progressive Young Turks TV show, said Joe Biden is not going to win for president, and he is the break glass in case of emergency candidate. Let's listen to why he believes he should be running for president of the United States.
Let's change the course. Right now, Joe Biden is down 24 points in the economy, 19 points on jobs when he actually did better on jobs than Trump did. He's down 13 points from where he was in 2020. He is not going to win. I am running. Yes, I am a break glass in case of emergency candidate. It should not have been me. It should have been someone else, but unfortunately it was not anyone else. And now there's only 4 months left. We must change course. He has at best a 10% chance of winning. Donald Trump is an actual fascist. So I am running as a proxy. I'm running to win, but I'm also running as a proxy for any other candidate. We have got to get Biden out of the race. Thank you for winning in 2020. But if he loses this time around, it's not just his problem, it's all of our problems. I actually think democracy is on the line. And so if it takes me running, then that's what I'm gonna do. And we're all gonna do it together.
He's not saying nothing that I haven't been saying. Donald Trump is indeed a fascist. Democracy is on the line. And 2024, what is it, 2024? Yeah, Biden loses. I think democracy as we know it will never be the same again. But what do they say in sports? You still got to play the game.
Yeah.
You know, even if it looks like the team don't have a chance of winning, you still got to play the game. I just wish we had some better players on both sides.
Yeah. So as it stands, Marianne Wilson, who obviously Williamson, is also still running to be the Democrat nominee against Joe Biden. Had her on the show as well. We also had Dr. Cornel West on the show. People can go back and listen to that interview. He dropped his Green Party ticket. So when we had him on the Breakfast Club, he was running as a Green Party ticket, and he has now dropped it as an independent. And so has Robert E. Kennedy Jr., who was also running for the Democrat nomination when we had him on the show, and now he is running as an independent as well, which I reported that earlier this week. So folks are moving over to the independent category and just, being very honest, like Jane said, I'm running to be a proxy. I know I'm a long shot candidate. I know, but I'm running to disrupt. I appreciate his honesty, at least, with that. But not a lot of people like it. They feel, it's a spoiler, feel like it hurt Joe Biden. But there's also people that believe Joe Biden can hurt Joe Biden. So we'll just see.
All right. Well, that is front page news. Now, get it off your chest, as we'll see in a couple of minutes. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Again, 800-585-1051. Get it off your chest, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're going through. Call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Let's get back in some front page news. What up, Tiz?
What's going on, DJ NV Charlamagne the God?
Peace to the hood whisperer.
Now, last night, Kansas City beat Denver 19-18 in NFL. In the baseball playoffs, if you're still watching, the Phillies beat the Atlanta Braves. They move on to the National League Championship Series against the Arizona Diamondbacks.
And it's very important to note that the Broncos are now 1-5. As of right now, the Russell Wilson era, or the Sean Payton era has not worked in Denver in no way, shape, or form.
No, not at all. But let's jump right into the news. Let's jump into these two officers.
Pause.
Yeah, split verdict.
God damn. You gonna jump into the two officers?
Come stop it, man. Kinky this morning. Go ahead.
It is Freaky Friday, but two officers face a split verdict in Elijah McClain's death. Listen to the report, and then I'll give you just some additional information on the other side.
Split verdict in the death of Elijah McClain. The 23-year-old black man died in 2019 after being subdued by police and injected with the sedative ketamine. One officer, Randy Rodema, was found guilty of negligent homicide and third-degree assault, both felonies. The assault conviction carries a penalty of up to 16 years in prison. Second officer, Jason Rosenblatt, was acquitted.
Man,
Yeah, just some additional information when he died. And again, this was 2019. Remember, we talked about yesterday how they moved so swiftly on Carly Russell, but this was 2019. After he was given the drug, McClain went into cardiac arrest and was declared brain dead. He died several days later. Now, the coroner's report that was released in 2021, which obviously a couple of years after he died, said that the death was caused by the administration of the sedative, as you heard in the report. But the coroner could not rule out the possibility that the chokehold contributed to his death. Because obviously a chokehold restricts blood flow to the brain. After the verdict, his mother said that this is what happens in the divided states of America, and she was visibly upset, as she left the parking lot.
Yeah, it is amazing to me, how many of these stories I can honestly say I forgot about.
You and me both.
And I remember when this first happened and that young man was begging for his life, saying he doesn't eat meat, and it's one of those stories that when you unfortunately listen to the video or listen to the audio, you kind of like try to suppress out of your brain because you don't want to, hear somebody suffering in that way. But it's just sad that I can only speak for me, just kind of move on from these things, and you forget that these cases are even going on.
It's crazy when I read it and I seen Elijah McClain, I was like, well, which one is Elijah McClain?
That's
because
sad.
It happened so much, until we just brought the story up. It's very sad.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to point out that during the trial, because folks are asking, how did he get in the chokehold? What happened with that? And the officers just said he looked suspicious in a high crime area. He was just walking to the store. Doesn't that sound familiar? You remember again, Trayvon Martin, but obviously that wasn't, officer situation, but still he was walking to the store. They told him to stop. He said, I have the right to walk wherever I want to walk. And they said, well, you also should stop because you look suspicious. And that's what happened. So very, very unfortunate. And yeah, people forget about these. You become numb to them, unfortunately, because it happens so much. So
yeah, and a bum ass dude just driving. You know what I'm saying? Got the audacity to look at somebody like Elijah McClain and just he sized him up.
That's right.
Said he looked sketchy and he might be a good person or a bad person. Like, come on, man.
That's so crazy. Now let's talk about the safest cities in America.
Yeah, safest cities in America. You guys had talked earlier about, what's happening today in New York, but let's talk about how a few cities have been deemed, not so safe. America's biggest and most famous cities have a safety problem, from crime to financial problems and the threat of national disasters. So a new poll, has listed out these cities and wanted to give a few of them to you. Rounding out the safest cities is overall Joshua, New Hampshire is number one as the safest cities. The others, Maryland is 2, South Burlington, Vermont 3, Gilbert, Arizona 4, and Warwick, Rhode Island 5, and Columbia ranks as the safest city in the country when it comes to home, community safety, and South Burlington is the top location for financial safety.
What Columbia? Columbia where?
Columbia, I just said it, hold on.
Maryland?
Maryland.
Oh, must be Maryland, because they damn sure ain't South Carolina. Salute to the 803, the Metro. What's happening? Love Columbia. But no, I don't think we would ever make that list.
Yeah. Now, the major cities that have problems is New York, Chicago, Houston. It's a big concern right now going on with the mayor's race with Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, and tough on crime is one of the major issues they're talking about. San Francisco, Seattle, Atlanta, and Philadelphia. So those are the cities that have the problems, according to this poll.
Yeah, I was driving in today, and it's crazy because I got to see the city change. At one time, we've always had a lot of homeless people, but you didn't see. It's almost looking like L.A. When I mean looking like L.A., I was driving by, and in L.A., that's where you would see, homeless people in tents. You would see the big boxes. Like, you would see, like, the homes made out of makeshift things. And I'm starting to see that a lot in New York now. So that just tells me that they're having a huge problem. They can't find places to put people. They can't find, people can't find jobs. It's a lot of problems out there for New York.
It's also amazing how most of the safest cities, with the exception of Columbia and Maryland, I've never heard of. And they probably want to keep it that way.
I never heard of Columbia, Maryland.
You never heard of Columbia, Maryland?
No.
No, I definitely heard of Columbia, Maryland. But I've never heard of these cities, and they probably want to keep it that way. They're probably mad that Tez even shouted them out.
I'm sure they are.
Don't blow our spot up.
I'm sure they are.
Stay out their business, huh? Okay.
Yep. All right. Well, that is Front Page News. Thank you, Tiz.
Have a great weekend.
And make sure you subscribe to Teslin Figaro's podcast, The Straight Shot No Chaser podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network, and follow at Teslin Figaro on all social media platforms.
All right. Now, when we come back, comedian Joe Clair, former host of Rap City, will be joining us.
And I hope that you've been watching the Welcome to Rap City documentary on BET all week, man. There's a lot of things that got left on the cutting room floor. Joe Clair will be telling us about some of those things.
All right. We'll get to that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.